If you mix and master on headphones, you might want to stay on this video because I'm going to break down the steps to get the most out of your headphones and get a studio sound directly on your cans. Stay on this video. All right, so we're gonna start with opening Reaper. I have a session that I'll be using today. I'll be using some copyright-free music because I can't use anything else, and get another warning because I'm using somebody else's music. So the first thing you're going to do is you need a few reference tracks, depending on the music or the genre that you mix and master. Try to get at least a reference of the mix that you want to achieve, or if you have clients or if your church wants to sound like a particular band. I recommend you to download those reference tracks and make sure you get the best quality of sound into your DAW. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some tracks. I'm gonna dump them in here. Okay, I'm just gonna put them in there and put as separate tracks. Okay, and all these tracks, basically, let's just put them on different color, random colors. Okay, so now they're set. So first things first is I need to get the gain levels lower. 4 to 5 dB would be great, maybe not 10. So let's go around 5. So around there, do the same with the next one, down to almost 5. Then I'm gonna really kind of listen one by one and try to match them all as best as I can. So this one looks like most of these tracks are already being mastered, and it's better for you to find a track that's actually mastered or that is being done the best way possible that you're trying to reference. Now, you're not gonna copy exactly what they're doing because it would be impossible, but at least use it to guide yourself in the direction of what you're trying to do with your headphones. Okay, so I have all my tracks. I lowered the gains on each one of them, and I'm gonna create a new track. Let's go all the way down here, and let's say insert new track, and this is gonna be our track for headphones. So double click, and let's just put HD headphones. And this is the track where all the magic is gonna go. Okay, we're not gonna use the master track because let's say that all these are your stems and you're trying to mix and master. You do not want to bounce or render your session right into your master. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click in here. Let's see, where are you? Okay, so once we open our routing, this is not going to go to the master output. And on hardware output, you're going to put it as main left and main out right. Okay, so this bypasses the main out in case that you want to bounce the entire track or your whole session. So, and now what we need to do is route every single piece of track right into our headphones. So I'm going to go on the first one, and I'm going to put a send to the headphones. Okay. And all I'm going to do is just slide it to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So now all the tracks go into this main out, into the master out. And here we might not need to remove that send, right? So we don't hear it twice. Okay, so this are our headphones, and still our master track is being sent here. But we're not going to hear whatever it's coming out in here just yet, okay? So this is just for you to find the calibration of your headphones. You might have to do the same once you start mixing and mastering your tracks. But for right now, we're just going to hear a bunch of music, or at least play it out. And hopefully you can download some of the music the same. Go in the description below, and I'm going to put all these tracks that I'm using because I picked a little bit of different genres, and some of them are more with guitar, some of them are distorted, some of them are like more techno and pop. So I'm gonna mute all of them, and the reason I mute them is if I solo this one, this is the only one's gonna play. If I solo this one, then that one's gonna be playing. So that's the way I'm gonna start doing this. So let me just take a quick listen to it. Solo this and go back to all the way to the beginning, and let's press play. All right, that sounds pretty good. Okay, let's go to the second track. Let's play the beginning. Lower a little bit. Okay, perfect. It's got that low end. Okay, let's try the third one. Let's listen to it. Okay, let's move forward. Ooh. This one has a nice extended low end. I like this track for just referencing right now low end. So it looks like I'm just lowering just a little bit. Let's go to third track, fourth track. All right, so this one has vocals in it, very poppy with a little bit of a nice low end as well. So let's go to our fifth track. All right, this one is a little bit like hard country. Let's go and listen to this one.
Never really saw you coming until you turned me around. I used to think I was nothing.
I like this track. All right, this has a different flavor of low end, and let's see what this one sounds like. Okay, I think this is going to be my favorite track, but I'll listen to all of them. So now that you have an idea what your headphones sound like, there is some treatment that you might need to do because every headphone is different. So the first thing that I do is I listen to it as much as music as I can. I'm using the ATH M40Xs, and the reason that I got these headphones is because I know that they have a pretty flat curve on it, even though they're a little they have a little bit of extended or pronounced low end, a little bit of high end. They're not like completely flat, but from all the ATXs, because I know the M50Xs are very used for, at least for recording and tracking, but if I compare them to when I listen to other headphones like my Beyerdynamics or any other headphones, they tend to have a lot more high end, or the top end's a little bit piercing at times. And in order to do critical mixing and mastering, you need a flat response. You need as flat as you can, just like if you're trying to do in a room, or if you're trying to mix and master in a studio, you want it to be as flat as possible. You don't use you don't need extended low end or enhanced. You don't need any enhancement on or any coloring on your headphones. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is that there is something called the frequency response on your headphones. So if I go in here on the web and I type ATH M40X frequency response, you look at some images, it's going to show you that in its correction, most headphones are going to need somewhat or some type of correction. If you also don't have monitors, there's something also that is called another problem that you're having where you're referencing directly in your ears and you might not have a sense of ambience or a sense of being in a room. That might need to be fixed with crosstalk software, which we're also gonna look into it. But right now, the first thing that we need to do is to find that our headphone is not flat. See, our headphone curves here and it goes up, and then it's got some dips. So it's called a roller coaster frequency response, and every headphone has different frequency responses. For the most part, when I was researching to get a good pair of headphones to start doing a lot of critical mixing and mastering, I realized that the M40Xs are pretty flat, pretty decent. You know, they don't have extended low end. So I thought that this is a pair of headphones that everybody can have access to it. I bought them for like $50 and they were like almost new. They were still in the box. So I got really lucky. So this is what inspired this video, my M40Xs. So once you have your headphones, whatever headphones that you want, you need to get correction impulse response or a corrected frequency response. How do you do that, Carlos? All right, very easy. We're going to go into a website called AutoEQ. So just go into your browser, type in AutoEQ, and you're going to go in there, www.AutoEQ app, okay? Once you get there, you're going to find your headphones. In my case, they're the ATH M40Xs, right? And here is what I was talking about, okay? Let's turn this one off. Equalize, target. This is your raw frequency, right? How much error does it have? This is the error that this contains. The target, whatever that you're trying to do, this target's different. This is called the Harman curve over the year 2018. But what we're trying to find is a flat response. That is the curve that we're trying to achieve for critical listening. This is when you get your tracks and you're trying to correct every problem it might have, okay? And pretty much if you scroll down a little bit, you can see it tells you how to fix it or what is the target or equalize. But also you need to find what kind of correction you need. Okay, to get an impulse response or download the corrected impulse response or frequency response, you're going to select equalizer app. So we're going to go in here and we're going to download the convolution EQ. And there it is. This is the corrected equalization on your headphones, and it's going to look like this. Okay, that's the EQ is applying. This is the target that we're trying to find. This is how much error is on your headphones, and this is your headphone. Okay, so, and let me tell you right now that it's not going to sound great. You're going to think like, ugh, this sounds horrible, but it's necessary. That is the flattest that you can get for these headphones. Okay, so very important that you go down here and you click stereo. Okay, and then you can click this button that says download. Just click. So the first thing I'm going to do is rename it. Okay, so there it is. Now I need another one. And the second target that I need is the Harman curve. So now I'm going to go here. It's a over the ear, not in ear, over the ear. I'm going to click that. And it's going to give me this equalization because this is the target right here. So leave it on stereo and you're going to download that IR. Okay, so now I have the two IRs that I need for the correction. Now, the Harman curve is what sounds the best. and that was gonna have its uses, but not right now. It's you're gonna use it when you're trying to finalize your tracks or your music. But it's good to have both of them. Okay, so once you have both of them, you need to save them somewhere that you can use those impulse responses. Okay, another thing that could be extremely helpful, let me open this up, with AutoEQ is that you can do the same not just with your headphones. You can do this with your in-ears. I have a few in-ears, and there's two that I just love the way they sound. Let me just turn this off. And those are the CCA C10 Pro. Just find some images of what they look like. I love these headphones. These headphones are amazing. I use them every Sunday. I have actually both of them. I have the silver ones and the new ones. And these are a little bit more flat. The old ones, they have a lot more low end and they sound incredible. For headphones that are like less than $50, they sound incredible, especially with the correction and with the correct ear tips. And the other ones that I love is my same company, CCA, which is a cousin family of the KCs. CA16s. I love these headphones too. These are more refined. They have eight drivers on each in-ear, and they sound like incredible. There's a newer version with all armature elements, but I like this ones because they have a 10mm dynamic driver, which it's kind of like having a subwoofer inside your ear. The low end on this one is very punchy and is not overbearing, but it's more analytical. These headphones are more analytical. These are more fun, the C10 Pros. And for playing live, I play drums and bass. I would definitely, these are my go-tos. But recently, I've been sitting in the cafe of the church on the back and just with my in-ears, and I was like, well, let's see if they have AutoEQ. They have something similar, CCA. See, they have the C810s, the C10s, and they have that target, and I can just go in here and put flat and get my impulse response, and they sound really good for mixing. And once I throw in the rooms and the virtual rooms, I was like, wow, how can a pair of in-ears sound this good and very analytical? What it has to do with having this flat response or the Harman curve, which I use both of them. They sound amazing. I want to recommend you to use this because if you don't have your cans, sometimes I get tired of it, and my in-ears are very comfortable because I use phone tips, KC, or phone. Okay, let's see if I find it. They're called Comply, and instead of using them, I cut them in half, and I only use the frontal or the only half of it, just so they're not so deep into my ear canal. There's other off brands in Amazon that are amazing. KC Pros, yeah, there's something like this. There's way more, and I think I got a case for like $10. I think it were some of these. Okay, here we go. So this is the one I bought. I cut them right in half, and they sit a lot better in my ear canal, and it's less fatiguing. So I want to recommend you also to do this because this is gonna change the way you listen to music. At least for me, now that I'm starting to mix more and try to master all the services, this has been a game changer where everything's in front of me, and I don't have the space. I don't have the space anymore to have my studio set up. So I rely only on headphones, and my ATH-40Xs sound incredible now. I'm really happy the way they sound. They might not sound like something that is over $500 or $600, you know, because there are some limitation on this kind of drivers and the ATH, but it just brought it up to where I am more comfortable or more inclined that the mixes are gonna sound good. So I hope that this gives you an idea of where to start if you don't have the budget for a good pair of headphones or for a studio. Okay, so once we have our channel already set up, let's talk about the software that we're gonna use for correcting our headphones. So let's go into plugins for free, and we're gonna use actually a cabinet or impulse response loader, which is usually for guitar, but we're going to use it to correct our headphones. There's other software you can use, like the Morphit and this BST has headphone corrections. So this one is also free. You can go into their website and it would basically have corrections for headphones. This is amazing to try to correct your headphones. Once you correct your headphones, you can use any type of studio, what would you call it? Basically, is another impulse response of a room that has been captured with microphones, different positions, and some of them, if we type in headphone CLA, which is the waves, which basically is getting a studio sound in your headphones. Another one, it's Slate VST or VSX, which this is a headphone that has its own VST included, where it models lots of different studios and headphones. I mean, this one is amazing, but it starts at $300, and some of us don't have $300. Okay, so but if you need something that includes all this, be my guest. I mean, this one's amazing. I think in the future we would get one of these just to test it out. And all I need right now is just something very clinical, very clean. I just need my headphones to be as flat as possible so I can pick the things that I don't need in my mix. Okay. Other pieces of software, I know that one of them is going to be huge. It's called the Beyerdynamic Room, which is a virtual studio. This one is amazing, but I think it was meant to, it sounds great with my Beyerdynamics, my DT770s, but it doesn't sound, it sounds horrible in my headphones. So how I corrected it? Well, I found this AutoEQ. I got the impulse response. It goes before the virtual studio, and now I can throw in any studio that I want. I can get the CLA, I can get real phones, I can get anything that has a particular studio. Like the there's this studio, it's called Sienna. They have a free version where you can have a capture of their own studio in your headphones, and you might can use this one as well. I mean, right now they're free and they have headphone correction, but sometimes I want to be listening to different studios, and I found that the best way to do it is just correct my headphones first, and then I can use any studio I want in order to see how the mix sounds in different environments. So now let's just open NadIR. See, STL tones, and what we need here is to get our headphones, and here emissary studio IRs. Let's just grab my two IRs. Let's just throw them in here. Okay, ATH. So I'm gonna go on stereo. I'm going to change it to dual. No, I'm going to go stereo. And the first one, let's see. I just open it again. ATH flat. Okay, I'm going to do the same for the second one. ATH flat. And you have volume gain. It's important to try to match to the track, or as much as you can. They're going to sound a lot lower, but you just put the gain up as you need it. Okay, so let's turn it off. Let's hear the track. I think that's one of my favorite tracks right now because of the guitar at the beginning. It's got nice imaging on the headphones. It's not great, but it works. All right, so now let's turn on our headphone correction and let's hear it. It should be lower. Okay. Okay, I think about 7 dB. It would be 6.9 on both sides. 6.9. It's very important that you have it on stereo. Okay. There. Okay. Off and then on. Off. See, like, you might think that that sounds better, but it's because is the coloring that the headphone is have the effect of the coloring of the headphones having on the music, and you want the other way around. You want nothing to be changed, and you throw in your IR, and then you get that flat response. This is the easiest way to get that flat response for free. This Ignite Amps IR loader, it's amazing. You can have some room ambience, but we can use more VSTs to make it sound even better. Okay, so once you have this, now we can go in here and look for the Beyerdynamic room. Beyerdynamic Studio. And the amazing thing about this VST is that you have different studios in here. You have a stereo studio, 5.1 studio, you have a car, and a big venue. I'm not too fond of this one, but this one and these other three are very useful. So let's turn this off first and let's just hear a flat response. Let's turn off the IR. Okay, let's turn on the virtual studio. It might not sound that great. Now let's turn on the IR. It's a huge difference. Let's change to the 5.1. Car. And the big venue. Let's turn it off. And let's turn on now the IR. The correction. All right, so that is a huge difference. I'm not too fan of the big venue or the car. Just a lot more low end. My car doesn't have that much low end. I don't even have a subwoofer on it, but I do like this stereo studio. Is usable. Another thing that I could do now is that now that I have a flat response, I can go ahead and change and check the Harman curve now just by clicking in there, clicking here. I can now hear what the Harman curve it's going to enhance, what it sounds like. Okay, so track again. Let's turn on the IR. It's a lot louder. Okay, so that was a lot louder. Now with the studio, it would sound something like this. Let's turn off the studio. Let's turn off the IR. Okay, so it does changes. It makes this weird change where it doesn't, at least for me, it doesn't sound inside my headphones. When I turn on the studio, it just brings it in front of my face, like if I was facing headphones a little bit. Not better, but it just is a different dynamic that I can, if I close my eyes, I can hear the difference when I turn it on, turn it off. With the Harman curve, it doesn't work as best as the flat curve, and that's why you need is flat curve and not the Harman curve. We can use a Harman curve for other things. Like if you don't want to use the Beyerdynamic room, I think it's perfect. You can just use a copy of the STL one with flat and one with the Harman curve. So that's what I would do. Let's go in here and let's open another version of it. So let's go copy effects. Let's go in there, cancel and drop it and paste. Now I have two versions. Make sure that my first one is my ATH. We'll go back to 6.9. 6.9 and the second one, same 6.9. Okay, so I know that this one is my flat curve. Okay, perfect. Second one is the Harman curve. So just double click on that. Double click to at 0. Okay, so now I have different ways to monitor in my studio room. Okay, so just that's flat. Harman curve. Flat with the Beyerdynamic room, and studio room with the Harman curve. I don't think it works with the Harman curve. I think right there is the great combination. Okay, so now once you have this flat response, you can do a lot of other things. Why stop here? Now what I can do, let me go in here and look for NX, CLA, and stereo. Okay, so now I can open my Waves Studio. And now I don't need headphone correction. See, I have my ATH M40Xs. I don't really like how it sounds with this correction. But when I'm in the mains, with this particular IR, it's just it has a different feeling to it in a good way. So let me show you what I mean. Let me try to put this here. Okay, so this is my flat response, and when I throw in the CLA, or I can change to the C10 with subs. It is hard to explain with words what's happening in your ears. I would love for you to try it and find this. Now, you can do this with any other plugin. If I go to the Sienna, I like the Guru. This is like my favorite one. I don't need headphone correction. I just find the room, and I like the okay, this one, the Antares with sub. I love this room, and you can turn in this button on Guru, and you have all these other things that you can mess around. Acoustica, the room gain. There's a lot you can do with it. Usually I leave it alone because it has this crosstalk between headphones where if you're in a room and you turn off one speaker, your other ear still hears the rebound of the sound in your headphones. So that crosstalk is very important for you to have sound imaging in front of you, which is something that is a problem with headphones. If you turn your left speaker or your left headphone, you only hear it on your right. So you won't be able to hear the crosstalk into your other ear. So this virtual studios alleviate that massively. And I think that with the CLA and the Sienna with this room or any other room, I think you have everything you need for mixing and mastering, at least better than just using your headphones. Because it's very important that you understand that unless you have more than $1,000 or like you can get some Neumann $500, $600 headphones, something that people say that it feels like you're in front of speakers, that would alleviate that. But you can use it with a free version of Sienna because they have I think is this one, the Sun 18. I think this is the free one that they have, and it sounds amazing with the sub included. I mean, what more do you need? And that is the advantage of you having your own correction. And then now you can use different kind of virtual studios. There's another one that I found, this one. I think they have a free version. Dear VR, this one sounds amazing too. I don't have the profiles, but just this one, this is analytic position. I mean, this one sounds great. Is it on? I don't know which one's bypass. Okay. And you can level match. I mean, this one is very good. Just to hear things and have that cross talk between your headphones. And I really recommend you to do this because this is gonna open up your headphones and your feel in the room. Now, if you don't have access to any of this, to the CLA, the Sienna, or the DRVR, there's one plugin that is worth investing on, and that one's called Can Opener. Can Opener by Good Hertz. Now, this software is something else. Now, the combination of just having your IR and the Can Opener, it's immense. And right here in the middle, you're going to see what I'm talking about, because everything of the crosstalk that I was talking about, that is what happens when you sit in front of speakers at 60-degree angle. It tries to simulate that in front of you. So let's go to the default. You have many presets. When I use this one, I just go to Mix Engineer and I just flat, or I would use wide sound field. But these two, Lifelike or Mix Engineer Flat, are all you need. Okay, so let me see if I can turn it off, and hopefully you can hear it with your headphones. I hope you have a good pair of headphones. Here it is. This is with the flat, but if I just turn this on, see what happened is just trying to send imaging to your headphones. Like if you were sitting in front of it, it changes completely the sound. It sounds like a little bit lower, but if you put your headphones and you close your eyes and you turn it on, it moves from the sound being in your ears to being in front of you. And that is something that gave me a lot of problems, because I thought I was making the correct changes, not knowing where I was placing the instruments in the mix. So this has changed immensely the way I fix my mixes and how I try to master. Now, 90% of the time when I'm mixing and mastering, I just use this to the Ignite, the impulse response with Can Opener, and that's it, because it just gives me everything I need. Then when I'm done with everything, I would reference all my studio rooms. And Sienna what I like about it is because it has a car simulation, just like VSX or every other plugin. At least for right now, this is my favorite. And then you can use on your headphones, in a cell phone, or you can check it in different kind of speakers, like a little boombox type. They have different ways on a TV. That's crazy. Like you can monitor and hear what sounds in different applications. That's the only reason why I like Sienna better than any other. Now the CLA, this one's amazing. I mean, I would go to the CLA 10 and stuff for very specific music. I would use this one and nothing else. So the goal of this video is to show you that you can kind of recreate, or at least to a certain degree, a studio environment in your headphones. And this, like you saw, it's very easy. Just you need that impulse response for your headphones, and can opener is going to be a huge game changer. I mean, just this plugin here, even without the correction with your headphones, it might make them sound even better. Just for me, I just want flat so I can make analytical corrections, you know. I don't want any color on it. I want to bring the color that I mostly feel comfortable with, and then you can reference with everything else. But I wouldn't recommend you use the virtual studios to do everything with. Use them as a reference. Okay, well friends, I hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. If you have questions or ideas for the channel, just hit me up, put it in the description below. I hope that you have a blessed day, and I will see you in another video. God bless you guys. Ciao.